Takagi got himself in trouble, Parker, while we were away.
Coming down at turn one, it looks like he got boxed out there. Did a quick spin, waited for traffic to clear, went down the escape road and spun it back around. Here you see it again on the way in. Gets the rears locked, thinks there might be a bit of a log jam, and then he creates one.
Scott Pruitt, you're right on top of that. Did it look very close to you? It sure did to the onboard camera.
It certainly did. He was able to get through here without having any sort of damage. He spun it around, ended up going back track into the runoff area, spun the car back around again and headed on his way.
Ego. This is Tora Takagi. He got into the barrier down in turn one, and with 75 laps complete of the 82 scheduled, that brings out the full course caution again. Scott Pruitt, you're right there. What happened?
He's right down there in front of me. As you can see, he slid into the tire barrier pretty hard. He's fairly deep in. The safety green guys, simple green guys are out here trying to get him. The safety guys are out here trying to get him dug out of the tires. It's going to take a couple laps.
Jan Beekes.
I'm with Roger Penn.
At the halfway point now. And the yellow flag is out. Car looks like Takagi came down across the grass and then continued on. Just caught a flicker out of the corner of my eye. I'm not sure if it was a full spin or he just ended up down there. That brings out the caution once again. Kenny Breck's lead is still protected. The top three are Breck, Serbia, and Cristiano D'Amato. Report now is he did spin, but like most this weekend, got it under control. The only exception to that was Nicholas Menace, who got it into the wall. There it is.
Same place, coming off the last corner, on the power, over the bump, back in, steps out, catches it, drives it down the warm-up lane, and back out onto the track.
All right, so a lot, if not all of the cars have stopped under the caution, and here is why. Watch the orange car.
I hate when that happens. Jimmy Vasser running third, comes up behind Tora Takagi in 12th place, a lap down. He's trying to get back up to the leaders. He gets a run on him, sticks his nose down the inside. I tell you, Jimmy Vasser's one of the most reliable guys on the track. He never gets into accidents. He never makes any mistakes during practice or qualifying. Jimmy Vasser having a little communication here, bridging the gap between America.
Yeah, you're right, Jim.
And Japan.
You're right. Now, Chris Neifel, the chief steward, has decided, and I have never heard of this penalty at this length, a 2-minute penalty for this car, the 5 car, Tora Takagi, apparently attached right to that incident. This was Jimmy Vasser when Takagi came by. Yeah, nice job. What's the matter with you?
Well, and I'm sure Tora had to see that paint job. Absolutely.
And now they have upped the penalty on Tora Takagi to say it's going to last until the end of this race. In other words, he's out.
Scott Dixon doing tank slappers coming out of the festival curves.
Tora Takagi off course. Now, will this actually bring out a yellow? Probably not. I think they could get him clear without having to slow the field for the entire course.
Off there in the festival curves as they entered. You can see him here. Watch what happens now. He makes contact. Quick snap spin after making contact, it looks like, with one of the team green cars there. It was a little hard to see. And you can see as a result in there, now we'll watch from onboard, you can see how bad the visibility is. He's on the brakes, turns in, gets really wide now, puts him out of position for the left-hander, comes back in, hits Michael Andretti. One of the team green cars, kills the motor, doesn't get the clutch in soon enough. Now watch, yep, there you have it.
And right at the end of that was when Sinji also got it loose.
It's interesting how the thought of possibly not being unemployed or employed for next year can change your motivation and your whole outlook on life.
And Tora Takagi, second time off course. Well up by the fence. We'll see what they decide to do with him. They may just decide that's where they're going to leave the car. He remains in the cockpit and is hoping that they'll come over and hook the rope on him and get him out of there. And when you talk about the Rahal, Letterman team, Pappas, and Kenny Breck, what you have to remember there is the Atlantic champion, Buddy Rice, is optioned to that team. So that's a little threat that just floats out there.
It's just what a driver doesn't want.
They've done it again. Full course caution, this time for Tora Takagi.
You got to remember.
It's Dario Franchitti. He's had an engine problem.
Dario Franchitti, who is running in second, and at the same time, Takagi in trouble, and there's Max Wilson. Max Wilson in trouble, too. From the look of the left front, it's terminal.
That's a little more toe out than you normally want to run on a street course. You can only imagine that the two of them got together on the way down into turn 3.
Back at the Molson Indy, Gil DeFerrin is still the leader after the stops, but of course with Franchitti getting in trouble, it put Tagliani into second place, followed by Breck and Castro Neves. Here's what happened that brought out the full course caution.
Tora Takagi crowds Max Wilson on the way into turn 3. You got to give a guy some racing room. You just can't plow into him and expect him to turn and use him as your girlfriend on the way into the corner. That's just what happened.
Of course, the damage already done to Wilson's car. Dario Franchitti out, something in the engine room. Thus far, 5 full course cautions for 12 laps. Here was Tora Takagi.
Okay, I'm going to try Max on the outside. Whoa, man.
What about the braking part?
Well, yeah. That's something you want to do when you're trying to slow down from 190 to 40.
Whoa.
You just try to use your 4, not someone else's 4.
Well, you know, if I can't use my own brakes, I'll use the brakes of the guy in front of me. Parker and I were just wondering if we'd gotten away from the full course cautions for the day, and all of a sudden the flag showing at every corner station again. This time it involved Tora Takagi and Oriol Servia.
Well, this is heading down into turn 3, and another fine example of how not to use the brakes on a Champ Car race. Tora Takagi punts Oriol Servia. Now watch from the onboard from Tora. They turn into the corner, and Tora says, "I'll just be hitting you now." And I've gained another spot the hard way.
It's amazing that Takagi could continue on after that. After the smack with the wall, there's massive damage on Servia's car.
You would think there'd be damage to the left front of Tora's car. Now watch on the turn-in. Oriol's a little bit wide as he was trying to avoid the car in front of him on the initial turn-in, trying to gain some room. But Tora comes in with just a huge head of steam. Gets Oriol way up in the air. Looks like a Joey Chitwood Saturday afternoon event. Heavy damage to the left side of the Sigma Autosports car.
Kenny Breck.
All right, Dara, we'll see you in Michigan. See you there. Thanks.
Well, we got trouble again. This time it's Takagi and Moreno. Same place, too.
Well, this time Tora's done. Look at the left front. It is definitely damaged. So finally, I think he's being put out of his and everyone else's misery. Moreno keeps it running. He's off.
So now Takagi is kind of waving like he wants him to move the car. That car is not going anywhere except on the hook. And Jim McGee, who manages for, well, here it is again.
Another skewer job. And it looks like he got Tracy on the way by as well.
So if I was Tora, I'd just kind of head for the airport. I don't think I'd stop and say hi to any of the other drivers today. Back at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course just moments ago, watch Tora Takagi. I had a situation a little further ahead, and then Tora got into it.
Just came into the top of the keyhole too fast, locked up the rear wheels, did a quick 180 off into the gravel trap and stalled it.
And that brought out the full course caution because they're right on the edge of the track. I don't know what was going on there with Cristiano, though. Obviously, whatever problem he had multiplied itself back in to Takagi. And now, so they're trying to get him out of the gravel trap. We're in the final 9 laps of the race. Pace car is out, ready to pick up the leader. And a moment ago, Tora Takagi, Terry Trammell's trying to get him out of the way. Tora's having nothing of it, and that was why. It'd be pretty embarrassing to get wiped out by your own car.
Maybe it's just the car's way of getting even. Yeah, but you've got to be holding your breath as you go there because for just a moment it goes to zero visibility.
Tora Takagi spins off course, back on.
Yeah, but he's
but
killed
maybe
it
with
there.
a dead engine. Tora Takagi, you saw him end up in the middle of the circuit. Well, he dodged that deal.
But it was going down into the carousel, this next corner where he had the problems. There it is.
Oh,
with
Moreno bounces off of him twice.
Little bumper pull there. Yeah, just using your friend for a little turn-in help.
So now the list we have to do is who hasn't been involved in a bump and run.
Go, and Paul was just a victim being in the wrong place at the wrong time there.
Mauricio Guzman's out of the car. He's okay, but Tora Takagi, look, he's standing there, and this is what happened to him.
Coming out of the kink, the same place, backing off the throttle. Exact same thing. Car steps out, he's hard on the brakes. He had just started to pick the throttle up carefully. Back in, turns around on him.
Some people went for cover then, and that's the danger. Because if one car can get there, others will get there. The physics that put them there are the same.
Tagliani coming through traffic, lapping Brian Herta. Brian nicely moved out of the way.
Oh! Takagi and Dixon.
He stalled it just on his outlap. Fresh tires, full fuel.
Out for Junqueira.
So the full course caution comes out. It will be only a slight advantage for Junqueira. And there is Takagi and Scott Dixon getting together. Here is it from Dixon's point of view. Takagi will be over on the right.
This is the flat-out fifth gear kink, 155 miles an hour going down the back straight. Now highest speed on the course, 190 miles an hour. Dixon setting up now for braking and downshifting. Takagi coming down the inside right about now. There he, it's somebody else that's going down.
That looked more like a Zanardi nose.
Yeah, I think Zanardi's going inside Takagi. Takagi pushes out wide into Dixon. Okay, now we'll see what happened here. Servia down the inside. Takagi just locks him up. I think we may have crowned a new king here. I think we've got King Takagi going for us now, Paul.
Well, and the yellow comes out. No indication up.
Tora Takagi.
Light those tires, Tora. And Takagi off course, quickly back on, but it does bring out the second caution of the day. And for the moment, holds off Cannon's attack on Carpentier.
Now we're going to see some pit strategy play out.
You bet
I've been doing some math after Gary brought up possibly going one more stop with Kenny Breck, and it is possible they need this yellow, but now I think we're going to see strategies go two different directions.
Well, here's what happened to Tora Takagi.
He and Bruno got together. It looked like Tora had the low line, was where he was supposed to be, and Bruno apparently has been wanting some action and is finding it, but unfortunately the resulting action is involving everyone else. It's one of the times I can say Tora was just minding his own business, was down low doing what he was supposed to, and just got clipped as Bruno came back down to the inside, just like he had done on Kenny Breck.
And DeFerrin gets a nose ahead of Kenny Breck and now begins to pull away. Into turn 4. And DeFerrin will lead the first.
Oh, big spin! Max Pappas coming off at turn 4. Has not hit anything yet.
Several other cars going for cover.
Unbelievable bit of driving.
Got one into the wall, though, that's lost a rear wing.
That's Tora Takagi. Max Pappas looked like he lost it coming off the fourth corner, Paul, and at over 200 miles an hour drove that car. 180 degrees backwards. We also see Bruno Junqueira out.
Junqueira was the one that actually lost the rear wing on that. There were cars sliding everywhere. Owing to the shortness of the straightaway, you don't normally see that kind of thing. It came pinching off the corner.
And I have never seen anybody 200 miles an hour backwards for so long as Max Pappas. Did a phenomenal job keeping that car going dead straight at that speed. Waited till he got down to the first corner, spun it back around, and kept going. Here it is once again. You can see Bruno looks like he got tapped by Takagi. You can see Townsend Bell looking for cover there. Townsend already passing a number of cars on the opening few corners.
We were just charging, trying to go as quickly as we could. The other stops were perfect. We had a good strategy, but you know, the last yellow definitely allowed us to close up on Cristiano, and then Takagi drove around between us. I don't, you know, the guy didn't drive the same line twice, was completely holding me up, had no interest in you know, obeying the blue flags. You know, a complete idiot. Why the hell's he out there?
I think what that is a little shallow. You get into the draft, you have a low pressure area, and all of a sudden that thing pops up.
Ooh, Mario Dominguez tries to go under. That is shutting the door. Takagi racing aggressively here in front of his home fans. We got the front from Dominguez, who immediately dropped back about 4 car lengths.
From this little mistake here, I believe it was just radio communication issues. We're going to try and regroup here. We have about just under 50 laps left, so there's a lot of racing left in this one.
Sorry for stepping on you there, Calvin.
Takagi doing a little chop there, working him to the inside.
Not Takagi. Tora doing a chop?
I know. I know.
Hard to believe.
I know.
On full tanks, he was second fastest, but he has his hands full today.
See if he ducks for the pit entrance. No.
Townsend Bell goes by, so we know Townsend's off the pace. So Jimmy, you know, I think Jimmy's trying to feel what the problem might be. He knows he has a problem. Oh, another one in the wall. Is that Takagi?
I believe it is Tora Takagi, the young Japanese driver. Yes, and it looks like he has bent the right front. Driving for Walker Racing. One of the few Reynards, only 4 of them started the day. We've seen Alex Tagliani, now Tora Takagi have this problem.
Okay, what they can't factor in is how many yellow flags there might be. Oh, here's what happened. Takagi went round the outside of Jimmy Vasser, got on the same marbles that caught Jimmy out. Takagi was just, the angle wasn't right, and boom, look at that. Autographed the concrete wall on the outside. That was unfortunate for Takagi, because Jimmy, I bet, Bob, he didn't realize how slow Jimmy was running in the racing groove and didn't expect to have to adjust his line so abruptly. And unfortunately, that puts Takagi in the wall.
One lap does not want to commit. Whoop, Tora Takagi goes off at turn 11.
And he was feeling pressure from Townsend Bell. Townsend Bell, after his last stop, put together a series of laps that put second fastest lap of the race just off D'Amato's quickest, and was able to reel him in right in front of D'Amato. You can see it out of the onboard.
See green flag waving.
When he was trying to make a move on Dixon.
Got up the backside of the car, head spun. It appears he's lost the fire, so they may have to call a yellow out. It's a local yellow right now. Break for Townsend Bell. And for race leader Cristiano D'Amato, who was just behind. The turn down the front stretch. Oh, he did it again, but this time we go green.
Look at this. Oh, he's trying to squeeze down the inside bar for the festival.
D'Amato has to give the corner. And look at Alex Tagliani in the blue and white Forsyth car, moving into third.
Look at Townsend Bell, missed it completely. And that's what we feared. One of the target cars.
Adrian Fernandez in the green and orange Tecate car.
Takagi.
Tora Takagi from Walker. That is Scott Dixon in the target car. So 3 cars involved in a collision at the second of the 3 corners that make up the festival curves.
A very brave effort by Kenny Brack to come down the inside. You see Takagi just furious, wants to get himself going here. But a brave move by Kenny Brack to stick it out with D'Amato, and he did make it down the inside. Takagi back underway again. The
on board with Takagi. Sort of a slow version of what happened to Greg Moore back in '98.
Okay, watch Takagi now head to the grass. On the grass, over the curb. Now he knows he's going to T-bone somebody. Oh, he can't stop. Boom, he catches Dixon. Dixon was the innocent bystander. I'm not sure how Fernandez got involved in that, but Dixon was definitely mugged from behind.
Several cars. Once the side of a town of some 80,000 people. Oh, Tora Takagi into the tire wall on the backside. That's down in turns 4 and 5, I believe, from 17th place.
So Tora, who ran so well, Derek Walker's team, in fairness to them, and in fairness to Tora, said they did not give him everything he needed in qualifying. They actually had a gearbox problem where one of the gears went in the wrong way, and his primary car had to go to his backup car, which was just not as fast. Otherwise, Derek Walker believed Takagi could have started on the second row of the grid at least.
Simple Green safety team on hand to check with their driver. Local yellow only. There's Takagi to the right of your screen, losing traction and getting onto the grass. Ooh.
Oh, man, watch how hard he's going to hit this. Oh, you just can't slow down on the grass into 3 or 4 sets of tires. I love the energy absorption of these tire barriers. On board, you saw what happened. He got oversteer, he overcorrected, and once you got on the grass, ooh, you know you're going to hit it hard.
Heavy steering input, and the car would not turn on that slick grass.
That is a fourth gear, 145 mile-an-hour corner as you enter in, and as soon as it jumps sideways, he's going off the road.
Once again,
Before, this is an opportunity. It's hard to tell drivers to take it easy.
850 horsepower per car. Once again, they come off 2 by 2, then they break order.
Green flag.
Green flag this time. And look how they spread out. Someone's turned around. It's Jimmy Vasser with Tora Takagi, Mario Dominguez, and Townsend Bell. And it looks as though they're all interlocked. In fact, Takagi's rear wheels are off the ground.
Off the ground is Takagi because he got drilled by Herdez. Can you believe Jimmy Vasser? There is a black cloud over Jimmy Vasser all this season. He might have worse luck even than Tony Kanaan. How many races has Vasser gone out of this year early in the going? Bobby Rahal's hometown event 20 years ago, since Rahal came here and won, and Townsend Bell, who was on probation, who probably would have been scared to make a daring move on anybody, doesn't even get the chance to.
Now we'll have to get a comment from race control here. They did have the option of flowing the red flag here, in my estimation, and sending everyone to backup cars for a full restart. Instead, we have gone full course yellow, and these drivers are out.
Okay, Jimmy Vasser was the innocent bystander, minding his own business down on the inside, and he gets tagged right there by Tora Takagi. And what happens then is the cars that were behind him literally all had to come to a standstill.
As the race leader, in case you're wondering why the yellow is out, there it is. Michael Andretti in the tire wall, put there by what I would have to call a rather ambitious move by Tora Takagi, Tommy.
Ambitious in the adjective I would use. It was really wasn't even close.
Down in the turn 6 area. Simple Green Kart safety team at work. Both drivers out of their cars. Neither are going any further. Here's another look. Watch the 2 cars at the top of your screen. Takagi down the inside.
Oh, let me take that back. That was he was a good ways up alongside. Good ways up alongside. That's a good go.
This is in real time. It looks like Michael was actually trying to give him room around the outside, and Takagi just couldn't get it slowed down.
And once Michael committed to turn in, you saw Tora head for the curbs to try to give him some room, but once Michael decided to turn in, he can only wait so long.
Father Mario looking on. Michael Andretti's 300th career start is now over. Scott Pruitt.
Yeah, I'm very nervous. So you make a good actor. Thank you very much. Best of luck from here on out. Thanks.
Thanks, Jan. Quick off and on for Tora Takagi down in the keyhole. Turn 2.
Bruce Ashmore is technical director now of the Players Forsyth team. He was actually one of the designers several years ago of the Reynard Champ car, so he knows that car right from the time it hit the drawing board. As you see Takagi in another Reynard, this is the keyhole, brakes too late, realizes he cannot make it, and he tries to ride it out all the way across the grass, and I believe he did save it. Yes, and back on track again.
Pretty savvy driving move.
Yeah.
Kept it out of the gravel, kept the engine fired, drove it right back on. And that's exactly what Chip Ganassi just told his man. You got D'Amata in front of you, but you've got hot tires. Takagi back in, pulls the tear off his visor. And up come the revs. Pit lane speed violation brought Takagi back in for a drive-through. Oh! Mario Dominguez on the right, Tora Takagi on the left. That's down in turn 6.
Dominguez has stalled it, so we might get that yellow.
Just as Scott Dixon comes in. They're under a full course caution after a collision between Tora Takagi and Mario Dominguez. Here's a look. Ooh. Inevitably, on open-wheeled cars, when rubber meets rubber, somebody is going to elevate. In this case, Tora Takagi.
He was a good ways alongside. I don't think I've seen a pass there all weekend, but he was a good ways alongside.
Let's get to... All right, thanks, guys. Let's take another look in real time from Tora Takagi's onboard camera. Ooh, that is an e-ticket ride right there. We are going green.
ABC Sports is live at Phoenix International Raceway for the IRL IndyCar Series today. The Purex Style Indy 200, second race of the 16-race 2003 IRL season. On the second lap of the race, a caution. The car sliding to the inside of the racetrack in turn number 2, Tora Takagi. Now,
debris on his tires, some rubber. There had a Silver Crown race here before, but he gets in and all of a sudden just gets a little bit loose mid-turn.
And then big time loose. Fortunately, nobody touched him, but you just saw Tora Takagi, who came down the inside trying to miss him, got on the grass.
And watch what goes on here. He just gets to the middle of the turn. The back end will step out slightly. He tries to correct, and then he's up in the dirt, as we call it, in the debris. The back end's carrying its motion. It goes all the way around, and sure enough, both those guys miss him. And what a great job they did to do that. Now, you see here behind there, Takagi tries to go off the track. To avoid him, gets on the grass. There's no adhesion on the grass, Paul. You get on the grass, you're done.
It's amazing, though, that in the start of the race that Gilles de Ferran got away with that without anybody touching him. Let's go to Jack Arute.
But, Paul, the concern on Gilles de...
Jack mentioned a problem with Tora Takagi on his pit stop. Let's take a look at the replay. And as you can see, he pulls away, but the dead man valve on that fueling mechanism worked okay, and the fuel was shut off. And hopefully there is no damage to either the car or the fueling mechanism as Takagi has gone back out onto the racetrack. You can see he falls in behind the number 4 car of Sam Hornish.
Wasn't really good up there. The lighting here is great anyway. Giafoni moves high on sharp.
Saw some sparks coming off the back of Giafoni's car. The car's so low, touching the ground.
Looking inside, hold your line.
Whoa!
Oh, it takes 2 of them to the wall, Giafoni and Sharp. Takagi does continue on. Actually ended up with Castroneves down on the inside too. 191st lap, 9 to go. And it's exactly what you said at starting, Scott, that it's just a small lapse, just the smallest mistake. There's Giafoni. He looks fine, probably wondering what happened.
Once the drivers put their visors up, take the steering wheel off, and you can see the visor is up right now, and Giafoni, you saw him moving. They know the drivers are fine. Now watch, Takagi's on the bottom. He gets down on that white line. The car starts to wiggle. He then touches Sharp, which takes him right into Giafoni. There just was not enough real estate room there, Paul, for all 3 of those guys to go through.
Takagi over on the far right there.
Now watch how low his car is, down on the ground, gets past that white line. The back end came around on him, just touched Sharp. And at 215 or 20 miles an hour, it does not take much to throw these cars off of balance. Here you go. The back end of the car just touches them, and off they go.
Big mark on the word Delphi from Takagi's right front. And he takes Giafoni as an innocent bystander up to the wall.
Now they're all going towards the same piece of real estate there. Nobody will take their foot off, as we mentioned a moment ago, because with this many laps left in the race, you know you can't lose momentum. What a great catch down here in the bottom apron. Brian Herta and Castroneves did a great job there without even touching each other.
Gerald.
Tom Kelly is down here. You've had a chance to look at those replays. What goes through your mind? What are you thinking right now when you see this crushing defeat?
I think it's just idiotic for Takagi to try to pass below the white line going into 3. I mean, you just cannot go 3 wide. And unfortunately, it took 2 cars out of the race doing it.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Cost that man a lot of money. Not only the potential prize that he was going to have, but the cost of the car, because that car looks in pretty bad shape. On board Takagi.
Watch this, he takes the draft from the 2 cars in front, goes towards the inside. See where the white line is? It's in the middle of the car. There's just no chance of him actually being able to have an opportunity to go through there and make that through it cleanly.
Takagi, who has been penalized 23 points for that incident on the 190th lap last Saturday night at Texas Motor Speedway. Most of the blame for that accident being laid at his feet. He's not happy with that. In fact, says he won't accept it. It's got to be tough to get in the car knowing you've got all of that weight from that pressing down on you.
Well, Paul, that's true. But, you know, as a driver, I can tell you from the past experience that I've had, if something goes wrong either with the car in a pit stop or a situation like Tora's had, you really have to put it in a room and close the door. We call it just departmentizing. And actually what you do is once you slide inside that cockpit, no matter what's going on in your life or what's going on in the world, once you get in there, you're in your office, you put your 6-way seatbelt harness on, they put the steering wheel on for you, and as soon as you start up the engine, nothing else comes into your mind.